Hello and welcome to today's episode of Nightmares of Future Past. I'm your host and Game Master lluksblackheart. I have a few of my heroes joining us today. As a recap of what happened last episode, the party is with John Constantine, and they're going to be going over some of the details on what he can do to potentially help the party out in solving their cold problem. When within the party has to deal with any and all consequences that comes from, well, magic being magic. So that being said, hello heroes. Awkward silence. Where did I put my... no, but John Constantine is there. Uh, no need to do reintroductions except for maybe Techno, who wasn't necessarily there last game session. Well, last episode. So, hello, Techno. And hey, look, there he is right here. John Constantine will point out that the ritual he needs to do is going to be risky, and the more people he has taking part in this ritual will actually greatly help him, but he's not going to force everyone to do it. So, who exactly wants to partake in the ritual? Uh, so he can do something to help you guys with the current cold problem.
Mm, I don't know what I can offer, but I'll offer assistance. My bad, teammate.
What does this ritual entail?
Well, he has to draw a big pentagram, light a bunch of candles and incense, and anyone who's helping him has to stand at particular points, and he'll give you everyone a piece of paper to just read off of. Pronounce it as great, I mean, as accurate to the writing as possible, because the more you mess up, the more something could go wrong with the ritual. But the more people doing the chants, the more umph this ritual has. Therefore, the more great chance of a success and or a beneficial outcome. The less people chanting and taking part, kind of means the higher chance of the ritual failing and or something bad happening as a result, like ice elementals and snow elementals now roaming through Gotham because the ritual backfired and kind of made everything worse. And or the radius expands. So there's a small chance of something bad happening, but that small chance gets bigger the less people are taking part, because this is not a simple, we just want to make it a few degrees warmer outside. This is, we got to stop this blizzard from happening, and either attempt to weaken it to the point where it's not a blizzard, or flat out stop the new ice age of Gotham. Uh, so a big thing is getting as much of you as possible to aid him as possible.
Yeah, I'll eat then.
Yeah. Shiro under general. If you're willing to help, type 1. If you want to step out of it, type 2.
What was it again?
Uh, Are you willing to help Constantine with the ritual? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that is great. I just need to verify particular things. He's not here. He's not here. Okay, because this is technically an aid check, and the particular skill he's having you guys do technically falls under expertise, which is intelligence skill. Shiro, just roll me d20. Uh, Vigil, also just roll me d20 because you guys have normal, everyday person intelligence. Techno, however, you get a plus 10 to this die roll because you're a genius. The DC isn't necessarily something super, super high, but I want to double check because if memory serves, certain things do happen.
I'll try this one.
Wow, that was shit. My plus 10 didn't do shit for me.
Yeah, it did. I'm double checking the DC for it. Uh, but if memory serves, the DC is only a 10. Which
Wait, no.
uh, which means all Vigil has to do is roll his d20.
I got a 15.
You okay for someone? Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Thank you for that because my brain was looking in the wrong spot as I forgot I'm still having you test out the actual die rolls. 15.
You want me to roll again? That way you're actually see it rolled, or do you have trusting?
It's trust at the moment.
Okay, because I legit rolled a 15.
Well, I'm not saying you
No, you
didn't
didn't.
or anything.
Don't you lie. You rolled 2. I'm just kidding.
A 2 was rolled. Um, no, it's one of those things that yeah, for a moment until I can find the exact page for his run, which I'll probably do later. You all technically beat it, even with a plus zeros to both Shiro and Vigil. A huge welcoming. I love how it's putting your primary camera as the primary at the moment. Almighty Vigil.
Oh, I can do that.
Because I
I'll
was like,
turn my
why
camera
is
off
it
and I'll
not
turn.
so black?
I,
No,
I'm sorry. I'll turn it off after dice rolls.
okay, but
I was just
because
gonna
you
leave it
guys
on
all
for
passed,
simplicity's sake.
Constantine is getting an additional plus 6. So 2 from all of you, because he's skill mastery in this particular check. Give me your actual skill modifier, you chinky boom. Okay, 8. Okay. Um, you guys are able to form quite good. And after a long and somewhat tiring effect, the candles go out before Constantine has the lights turned on to re-illuminate the room. Uh, and it appears that the ritual went off swellingly, except I need an additional die roll from all of you. This die roll, Shuro, you have a +9. Techno, you have a +10. And Vigil, you also have a +9. So if you guys would please roll.
Okay, let's see here. Bam.
Oh, God, that's horrible, Techno. Oh, no.
Oh, 7 to 8, 8, 6. Yeah, 16.
Shuro, no rush, but can you please make that roll with the +9? Okay, I'm gonna start with the person who the die spot has decided to shame today. Uh, Thank you, Shuro. Uh, the result of the ritual for you, Techno, is you got to pretty much see what you felt was other realms and other particular badness and goodness. Can you? Does these things need to suit your character? Either pick odd or even, or roll me a die 2.
I'm gonna pick even.
Okay. Can you now roll me a die 3? 2. This is not bad. As you, Almighty Techno, somewhat flex, reconstitute yourself from the ritual, you can pretty much notice that something has completely changed with you. This is both good and bad. Uh, you have managed to, because of the ritual, had a bad thing. You can determine this as a bad thing. You probably will, but you might also consider it something good. Uh, as now I'm doing it. We're doing the bonuses. You are no longer human.
Okay.
You are a golem. In one of the alternate realms, instead of being born a human gadgeteer that went on to be a superhero, you were deliberately created and designed to aid a great techno mage.
Okay.
But it somewhat backfired because he ended up in the attempts to help save his realm. He did pass, leaving you behind to finish his great works. So even though you still have all the memories of this realm, you now have the compulsion to save the world through techno magic, which does open up the uh, your future gadgets to not only be tech based, but magically tech based things. You get certain attributes, for instance, even though we can't exceed your current 12 toughness, uh, being a golem, you have a natural sturdiness. So as you get increased power levels in later seasons, your toughness will automatically be going up due to golem protection. You are also getting an additional bonus to strength and stamina. So that would definitely be going up more. You now have the advantage Die Hard. I will be going over that somewhat shortly. But it isn't a bad thing. So like I said, bonus to strength, bonus to stamina, baseline protection. So again, when your power level does increase, your toughness is going to be significantly greater. So will your fortitude saving throws. You are technically a object given life, so you technically still have a soul. Consider yourself more like a warforged, how they are technically machines with souls.
That sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but it also means you can start taking expertise in magic and start being a quasi tech based character and magical character, where you can eventually start mixing the two to have tech based magic because you are now a tech based individual. And the only thing you have to adhere to is saving the world using tech based magic. Going over to who is you gotta boom. Well, Shuro. I'll make sure I got okay. Your bad thing is technically not necessarily a uh, bad thing. Uh, if you were to remember, you have a certain condition that you don't necessarily overly placate on because why do I have the wrong thing here? I'm clicking on all the wrong things. Yay for wrong things. Um, yeah. That condition has been slightly exasperated. So while it is, well, active, a lot of your things will be altered. Pretty much, you're getting additional bonus to intimidation and perception, even though technically it's limited to that form. So yay for that. But you are now, when you take that form, you are a lot more effective at just brutalizing your enemies. For those playing at home, during season one, and this is somewhat makes me happy that he's not overly using this. Um, Techno was turned into a scientific based were spider.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't you. It was Hive.
You
There.
said you said techno though.
Oh, well, it was technology and super science that created him. So not like you created it, but technology based stuff did it. So yay! So when he does activate that, he's more of a Buffy powerhouse. Buffy. Wow, my brain does not want to work. Um, a more buffed out stronghouse of a spider. Because that's technically normal slash. That's normally a 2, but it's also boom. Yeah, so when he's, like I said, when he's there, particular things do change, and he just becomes more of a powerhouse. Like, for instance, his imperviousness, he actually gets imperviousness when he takes that form. Why do I have it listed like that? It should be a that. Make sure I have stuff for actual core. Boom. Vigil.
I rolled a 7, and you said I had a
Okay, yeah.
plus
So you
9,
got
so 8,
16. So
16.
you got a total of 16. So you did slightly uh, better than everyone else. So yours not is not necessarily going to be as bad as, hey, look, you're completely something different with a more defined role. But sometimes I hate how this book is set up. Because it doesn't really want certain things to be easily accessible. Because why would it?
Come on, oh, come on, big guy.
Tell your dog it's a dog. Can you roll me die 4, please?
Four.
Okay, that helps out some. Can you roll a die 6, please? Come on.
Oh fuck!
It's not bad. Don't think of it something bad.
It's a
So,
one though. Ones are bad.
well, it's technically supposed to be a die 3, but die 3s aren't very easy. So it's more of a 1 or 2. It's option A. Then there's option B, which is 3 or 4. Option C, which, yeah. So you didn't get a bad one. Um, you got a somewhat good one, which, because of what you rolled and what everyone rolled, because it somewhat opens up certain new angles for everyone to somewhat justify and correct particular things. Yours is also somewhat funny and immediate because you're no longer human.
Oh, what the fuck?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, well, you're gonna somewhat laugh because it somewhat works in with what we initially talked about and directions for your character to go, but this directly acidifies on how we can actually have it happen without, you know, people trying
Oh,
to
so this is very
argue
good.
against it
Okay.
because it
Yay.
does help out a lot. Um,
So this would go under powers, correct?
uh, well, I'm updating the sheets now, and then I'm gonna tell you what was changed and make sure it's send it to you because after this, it's gonna be very important you guys actually be able to read this stuff. The first thing changed is you're getting your presence, which is PRE, is now a 5. So you're better with people.
Um,
Your
my what?
presence, which is the stat PRE,
Uh-huh.
is now a 5. And you
Okay.
have the
I'm just gonna put 5 at the end. Oh wait, does that go under the M column? Oh wait, no,
uh
that's persuasion.
that's persuasion. It's if the if you're using the original edible character, if it's still letting you save and stuff on it and actually properly alter it, then you uh it's under the enhancement section for it because it's uh coming straight from this here.
Okay, so that go under A. Oh wait, no, that's ability.
Yeah, it's a ability. Does you well, brain's not working because, like I said last week, I had to switch to other format because it wasn't letting me save stuff. Uh,
Mhm. Well, mine's just on a notepad, so it should be fine.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Does your presence is now a 5, and that's because like kind of what happened to them. You saw other worlds and stuff, and this source is coming from one of the worlds where you did die, but you were sent back because a unknown force decided that you weren't done being a hero.
Hmm.
So you don't know where you fall in the cast of celestial creatures, other than you can consider yourself a generic angel.
Okay.
And angels have a increased uh, wow, my brain doesn't want to work. That main set goes there, and you get the advantage of attractive, which means whenever you do any interaction skills with something, you get additional bonus to it. Uh,
Hmm.
your skill insight is getting a miscellaneous +2. And your Intimidate is getting a miscellaneous +6.
Ooh.
And what this opens up is when we do get into maintenance, we now have a means to justify particular things we were originally going for without having to beat around the bush.
E, 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 e. Does this mean I have wings and can fly?
Not yet.
Okay.
So 1, 5. Excuse me. Kind of like how Techno, even though he's a golem, he doesn't have full golem traits yet, because he just has the baseline stuff. But because your presence is a 5 when it comes to your persuasion, you now have an ability modifier of 5. I think I mixed those up when I was doing stuff here. Wow, I am stupid. I'll correct that in later things, as I realize I put certain things on the notepad wrong, which I will fix that by simply being lazy and doing this. Haha, hee hee. If this, your ability to lie just got better, your intimidation got a lot better. So that's a 5 persuasion, 13 intimidation. No, it's not 13. My brain's not working.
14.
17. There's previous modifiers there. And your deception is now 15. So you're better at lying, scaring people, and just generally communicating with people.
Okay.
Which is all good things. But because of the ritual that someone revealed that these things particularly did happen, you guys can tell that Techno now looks similar to a... Like, he's not fully... Like, you can somewhat just look at him and tell that he's not quite right. Even though he technically does look the same. It's just something about him just looks off. Like you're looking at something that wants to look human. Shiro, for a brief moment, looked like a scary spider person before he was able to regain control and go back to normal. And Vigil does still have that like aura of I'm an intimidating, scary person, but he somewhat has that like angelic look about it. Like if you say the wrong thing, an angel may or may not decide to smite you. Now, for those playing at home, the advantage of attractive. Whenever you're trying to use deception and persuasion check to deceive, seduce, or change the attitude of anyone who finds your looks appealing, you get a +2 circumstance bonus during maintenance. If you wish to increase it to its second rank, that +2 will turn to +5. So for anything that possibly could be attracted to you, well, you get bigger bonuses to it. Now the advantage Die Hard. When your condition becomes dying, you automatically stabilize on the following round without the need to do any sort of stamina check. Although further damage, such as finishing attacks, can still kill you. So it pretty much means, unless something's trying to kill you, there is a very good chance you're not going to die simply because you auto stabilize.
And that's me,
No,
or is
that
it somebody
is
else?
Techno. Because you got
Okay.
attractive because you're an angel. Techno got diehard because he's now a golem.
Mhm.
Uh, Shiro, just his spider abilities got better. There's another reality. He's just a better, stronger spider thing. Now, because Constantine looks a bit more worn out, he does state that the only way to verify if it actually truly worked is for you guys to, well, it's for the group to now go to the surface to see what has changed, whether or not the party still has to rely on Techno's um, equipment that he utilizes to maintain the blobs is needed or not in the environment, because he did have cold suits because he went through a way to do that for when he's handling those. So thanks to the party needing them, the party had them here. With the only slight problem is there's only two suits and there's three of you that need it. So who out of you three amigos wishes to go to the surface to see what has effectively changed?
Do I really need a cold suit if I am not technically a human anymore?
I because you're technically not a human, I can give you a higher tolerance to the cold simply because you're not human. It doesn't affect you in the same way, so technically your exposure limit is a lot longer, and it needs to be a lot colder for you to suffer actually what they suffer. Because you're not immune to fortitude effects or cold, but again, you're a golem, so I can give you particular more liberties on whether or not you actually need the suit or not. So to correctly answer your
Really need the
question,
suit.
at the moment, no, you do not need the suit. Because again, you're not flesh. You're not quite living like they are.
I'll go check.
Shark.
Shiro, if you can hear us, tack one if you're checking with them. Okay, that means he can't really talk, but he can. But he's still here with us. You guys can go up in the elevator, which after a short while it does open. You guys can see that there is no blizzard. There, it's not snowing. It is a sunny day, but it is still relatively cold. You can look out onto the water and see that the bay is still frozen, but there is no blizzard. It still feels quite chilly, but not enough to actually require any real suits. No, light winter clothing is perfect for this, which pretty much means you don't have to have heavy insulation or anything like that. So the most parts of the danger is over when it comes to the cold, which implies either A, the temperature will continue to rise up until the bay actually properly unfreezes and you guys don't need anything, or it's going to maintain a particular level to keep everything slightly icy, but not necessarily super high risk death. But time will tell on that. But again, there is no blizzard. You guys can see the sun. What is it you guys do besides stand there and look at the ice?
Should we probably check on the those that were hiding out here?
Well, the party does know where several of the hideouts, holdouts are. Thus, you guys do know that the Gotham apartments had people. Uh, St. Luke's Hospital had people. Even though you guys decided not to mess with them because they were all pretty much high class. We don't really want to deal with you people at Ellsworth Building. There is the few people at Star Labs. And even though you guys have investigated, the party is aware that there is a large collection of people at Arkham Asylum. So there is multiple locations for the party to go check at.
So where we want to head to, if you want to head anywhere.
It would probably be a good idea to check the state of Arkham Asylum to see what's going on there, or if we need to resecure anything or anyone.
The last we knew, the prisoners were all freed. Arkham Asylum may not be the place to go.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's probably not the best idea. But you guys still have other options.
Check on some of the ones that were held up in the apartments.
That's a good idea. Do you guys take flight and fly over? With
If someone's going to carry me,
Oh, I'll carry him.
otherwise I have to.
Oh, wait.
I'm on the
I have-
motorcycle.
Do I have any spare jetpacks with me, Jacob, that I could just slap on him?
At the moment, there is no spare jetpacks.
To make more then.
The hero that was working on spare jetpacks for people is no longer doing stuff with the group at the moment. So they pretty much took their stuff and are doing stuff other places. So when it comes to actually being able to quickly assemble one for someone to even temporarily use, that option has somewhat been taken away because all that material is no longer there.
Well, so I'm just gonna pick him up and carry him with me.
You guys can easily do it. The Shiro also has a jetpack, so he can. Doesn't take you guys very long to get to the apartment. And as you get there, you can see that there is plenty of people that seem to be happy that it's no longer blizzarding. They just have to deal with the snow, which you can see that it looks like some of them are having a snowball fight. They seem relatively happy.
They're happy.
How do you guys decide to interact with them besides watching them?
What's everybody doing down there?
Several of them yell that they're happy the blizzard's over. Yay! As you can see, that several people are gathering a bunch of the snow, probably to melt for water later. But they can safely do it. Because that blizzard did put a lot of snow and ice in places, which means as long as they're able to distill it, water is not a big problem at the moment.
More than one issue by turning the Gotham into a winter wonderland. Look at us go, Team Venture.
Yeah, Team Venture, go! What is the next location? And hey, All Strike was able to actually join us after all. As the party's checking in on people. And to do a brief recap, All Strike, so that way we don't have to backtrack later. The party was able to take care of the blizzard that was hitting and messing with everything through the help of John Constantine.
Oh, okay.
So the party does not have to stress that anymore.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Um, let me go. I'm gonna. My sister's home, and that she's gonna watch a TV movie, so I'll be right back so I can go get settled, so I don't have we don't have to worry about hearing the TV.
Okay. But I'll move on. What is the next location you guys wish to go check on? Does
But
that
the
sound?
hospital.
Hey, Shiro, if you can hear me, can you please roll me a die 4?
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Okay, dokie. Let's double check over here to see if that's good or bad. Dun dun dun. And you rolled a 2. Well, when you guys are able to get to the front of the hospital, you guys can find that the normal security guard that is there is not there. Do you guys proceed in?
Yes.
Well, as you guys
Maggie,
can get into the entrance, you guys can find that there is a few spent shell
no
casings
one
in his sidearm, and there appears to be signs of a struggle and blood, but at the moment, no body.
That's not good. I would like to draw my weapon as we proceed.
As you guys proceed forward, are you guys going to do any sort of call outs? Or anything like that?
I'm going to go ahead and hit the little button on my belt for my shield and yell out, "Is anybody here?"
Does everyone else prep for cautious combat? Did you hear me, Vigil?
Yes.
Okay, I'm assuming Shiro's pulling out his revolver of revolvingness, and Allstrike is prepping to strike something with his almightiness. After a moment, you guys can hear some noise coming from further down the hallway, And you can notice that some of the lights are flickering. Do you guys proceed deeper in?
Um,
All strike,
Yeah,
you're
let's
breaking up.
proceed.
And I somewhat cut you off, sorry, Techno, but I assume you said you're good on proceeding forward.
you there? I
Can you
can't
hear?
tell if anybody's on because it was echoing so bad.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you clearly now.
Okay. Uh, but somewhat verify to make sure I don't misinterpret. The group proceeds deeper into the hospital, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Yep.
As you guys go deeper in, you can see slightly more signs of struggle, some more evidence of blood. And then as you turn one of the hallways, you can see that there appears to be a doctor with their back to you, and you can tell that there's some blood on them, and they seem somewhat hunched as they're standing. You can see that their arms are somewhat moving, and you can hear slight uh, oh, there's feedback from my mic. Echo.
Yeah, it'll get staticky and it'll cut you in and out.
Okay. How about now?
It seems to be a little bit better.
Okay. I adjusted some of the mic actual thing here. Make sure that's plugged in correctly. Make sure this is plugged in correctly. So everything looks good on my end. No, but I said their back is to you. You can see that their arms somewhat moving, and you hear this weird, almost chewing sound.
I don't like this.
Scan the
Can well, let me look at. I should be really good at hearing things. To my knowledge.
Well, you do have your perception. And at the moment, we didn't take the hearing powers, remember? You took the crippling strike and healing factor.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I did, don't
I'm gonna
apologize.
I'm gonna use my super hearing to see if I can pick up anything further in.
Yeah, you do have some super hearing. You are pretty sure that doctor's eating something.
Oh,
okay.
You, Shiro, because you have one
Do
part
I
of your
see
sense.
anything on my?
For some
what
weird
was that?
reason, your radar isn't fully working for some weird reason, and you don't know why. Almost like something's
Okay.
interfering with it.
How about
at
my visual
momentum.
scans?
Well, you can visually see
Uh,
the doctor.
the doctor's
Okay.
eating, and
Uh,
I've seen so many horror movies that this is gonna be bad.
yeah. Your danger sense is tingling, Almighty Shiro.
I pull out my gun
And after a moment, you can sort of see
slow.
it stops, and then it does this slow turn around, and you guys can see that half the doctor's face is missing, and it
Oh,
appears to
lovely.
be chewing on someone's hand. And as it looks at you
Mm,
with great eyes, well, not great eyes, grayed out eyes, almost like
like
lifeless eyes,
pearly
it
white.
drops a hand and lets out this weird moan yell, and then starts coming towards you guys. At this moment, it is initiative because you guys believe you're fighting a classic zombie.
It's not charging at us like World War Z, is it?
No, it's not
He
bolting.
said classic zombie.
Yeah. So it's more of a
Okay.
shuffle walk.
Thank goodness. I'd hate to face,
This is a
either
new
World War
age zombie.
or
You
okay,
do have a +6, so that is actually
or
a
28 days
17.
later zombie.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what my pluses and minuses were.
Okay. You have a 9, Almighty Virgil.
8, 16, 17 for initiative.
And what do I have?
And
Jacob on mine.
Moment.
Oh. Okay, I did something wrong again.
You don't have to spell
It's
out
exclamation R D20 +9, no spaces.
you have the only spaces should be between the R and the D.
What's my initiative?
You have a +9.
Me? Okay.
All Strike has a whopping impressive 1.
Oh, you
I was
said one.
trying to show an example, but it didn't work. So you can delete that.
Okay, so instead of having a 24, I have a 16. Jacob.
16. I think I accidentally deleted the wrong one.
You did. I mean, it doesn't matter because I still had a 17 for initiative because I rolled an 8.
Do you want me to re-roll mine?
No.
Because you deleted.
I remembered what it was. Well, this is somewhat comical because you guys are all clustered together with your bonuses.
Oh, really?
So, Virgil, you do go first. You
Vigil.
get your that the crippling strike won't work on it. Vigil. My brain wants to put an R there. But you can still utilize your impressive whipping techniques.
Yeah. Can I attempt to do a improved hold strike on it, I guess?
Yes, you can. Let me go to those actions so that way we can verify all your bonuses besides the fact of you hitting. Actually, I can go here and speed run this. Yay! Well, not actually speed run, but do it.
Because it says it's a +15 damage for multi-attack, improved grab, improved hold, improved trip, reach 3.
Well, there's certain steps. Oh, there it is, right there. I'm stupid. Okay, 176. 176. This technically you're doing the grab. What the improved hold does, I just saw. Your grab attacks are particularly difficult to escape. Opponents you grab suffer -4 circumstance penalty on checks to escape it. So once you confirm the hold hold because the whip does have improved grab. You can make uh, you can make a grab attack with only the whip. You don't need both hands. You don't need that. So your other hand can technically still be free.
How many attacks do I get first off?
Technically one.
Okay, all right.
Uh, okay, grab. You attempt to grab the target. You make your normal attack check against the target. If successful, the target makes a resistance check against your strength.
Which says it like because next to the chain whip plus 15, it says a DC of 20.
Yeah, because it's like whatever it's your strength or the grabbing whatever is the grabbing effect, which would be the whip. So it would have if you hit
Fucking bullshit.
the what?
I got a natural 1.
Well, you have to remember that's not an auto fail. Because that just means that your I just minimize it for some reason. Your plus 15 gets added to that, which makes it a 16. But because you rolled 1, it drops it back down to a 11, because it's a minus 5. And it means that the creature has a. You're going to laugh. You managed to hit it. Now it has to do a strength check against that DC 20. Oh, oh, oh. It got extremely lucky.
Fucking bullshit. All right, so I've got
So,
2d20s in the dice jail.
yeah. So, you failed to grab it. Uh, because you have the better initiative. Techno. You're pretty sure your dazzle effect won't work on it. Because its eyes don't look necessarily in the best condition. But you're pretty
Oh,
sure your blast
I'm
will
going.
still work.
Yeah, I'm going for a boom headshot.
You do have a plus 8 to hit.
Boom
Apparently, the
headshot.
dice god is not in the party's favor. But we can still keep on this roll because it's now All Strike's turn, who can either A, run up and punch it, or B, focus beam it. And if you are focus beaming it, you can either go for your standard plus 8 to hit or your accurate attack, so you get a plus 13 with the slight deficit of lowering the DC. So either roll with the
I'm
plus
gonna
8 for high damage or roll with the 13 for high accuracy.
I'm gonna roll with high damage. I mean with the plus 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, high damage. 23.
Oh, the dice bot doesn't like this zombie apparently. So it needs to make its toughness roll with a minus 5, which is going to be somewhat funny because this is how easy this thing is to do it. So it got a total of a 10 versus a 27, which means it failed by 15 points, which is 3 degrees. It's also not a main villain or anything, so it just drops. It does go
Okay.
to Shiro's turn. Which means Shiro,
Yep.
do you do besides look at the downed zombie?
Look around, make sure there's no more zombies charging, and hold my action.
So you're ready in an action to shoot at the next zombie that pops up?
Yep.
Okay, that helps me out a lot. At this point, entering the hallway, and the hallway slightly further down, you can see that there is a bunch more zombies. And they look like a mixture of the patients they were taking care of, nurses, doctors, and a few security guards, implying that the whatever happened here managed to actually succeed on killing all these people. Which, because he had a ready to action, Shiro, if you wish to shoot at the lead one, you do have a plus 15 to hit.
Okay.
And
Critical. But I'm shooting at multiple.
this is funny because in normal games, undead creatures are immune to critical hits. Uh, DC, however, is funny in the fact that unless it states it has immunity to something, it doesn't have immunity to something. So, for instance, even though that it's an undead creature, that critical still goes through. So your high crit range of 10 to 20 still goes through, which means you get the benefits of that plus 5 to damage. And because you beat the DC by 21, you're adding additional 5 damage because of the multi-shot function of the weapon. So it has to beat a DC 30. It. Let me double check. Yeah. It failed by 15. It doesn't need to fail by that much, but it is now officially down. And these zombies aren't necessarily super fast, super strong, or even actually intelligent. So they spend this turn shuffling down the hallway. You guys at this particular point can tell that there are zombies coming from the rest of the hallways as well. Well, pretty much implying that you guys managed to walk by several of the rooms that did have zombies in them. But they weren't quite active at the moment until, well, the party just started to unload into this pool, into that initial zombie. So you guys now have to fight through zombies to get out of here. But it goes back to the very top of Vigil.
Right. How close is the next closest one to me?
Because you have reach with your whip, you can, if you're wishing to do multi-attack, target several of them at the same time, with ever decreasing penalties, or just over focus on one. But there's at
I just
least
want to. I want to over focus on one with a power attack.
okay. You still have that plus 15 because of how stats go. This is a parry, so it actually gets a plus 1. But you roll first with your Myzine plus 15.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That your dice hate you right now.
Yeah, that's fucking. I have 3 more d20s.
And the dice god agrees with your dice because you critically failed to hit, which means you don't get a 16, you get an 11. This zombie managed to be the superhero of zombies, and he critically succeeded in that dodge, turning that 21 into a 26. So that your dice really don't want you.
Technically, if it's they're clustered up, right? Would it hit the zombies behind them?
No, because you have to remember this is still a game, so there's particular things that that it doesn't take into account, like
Fucking kidding me. I just
space and
rolled the
stuff.
same one again, and it got me a natural 20.
Yeah, should have saved it.
Okay.
Like because it's technically
Yep.
in a hallway with slightly limited space, it'll be hard to utilize a whip. But also at the same time, shooting a bunch of bullets down the hallway with a very effective revolver, because you do have a very effective revolver, uh, would also put holes through them and possibly carry through to hit the next one there. But because this is a game and it doesn't, in this particular things are taken into account for things like that, it doesn't take into account. But Vigil's dice appear to not want to have him succeed in anything at the moment, which kind of bums me out.
Mhm.
But we can go to Techno, who can blast one, and hopefully the dice bot doesn't have him roll low.
So they're like,
let's
more room for the
give,
whip.
let's give it a shot. I'm done. I'm so done.
You and I are like just failing miserably on our dice rolls tonight, Bacon. Or Techno.
He still hit with a 14. And because that's a DC 27, that 21 failed. And because these aren't, like I said before, aren't like super big, tough bad guys, they're technically have minion status, that one does fall. Which means I get to adjust this number to that. Because you guys are actually succeeding on lowering the number of individuals here. Now it is All Strike's turn, where you can either A, accurate focus beam, or B, normal attack with a +8.
Normal attack for right now. 22.
22 versus a 19. You hit. And that is another one that went down.
Mike feedback. Mike feedback there, Jacob.
You got feedback?
Yeah, it's buzzing. I thought it was mine, and I muted my mic, and I didn't fix it.
Okay, give me
But then again, I'm just on my phone.
something to see if it undoes it. Boom.
Yeah, because
Is it still there?
no, it's gone.
Maybe if I slightly just loud enough for me to hear you guys, but not necessarily loud enough for the mic to do it. Because sometimes I love this mic. But boom. But now we go to Shiro, Senor. Lots and lots of gunfire.
I'm gonna shoot multiple targets.
You can shoot because it starts off with boom. Because if I do basic math of you can shoot 9 of them before you actually start getting penalties to your to hit.
Okay.
because of your the modifiers are actually helping you out a lot here.
Yeah.
So you can either A, roll me 90-20,
Okay.
because I need. They only have a dodge of 0, so unless you roll outrageously low, you're most likely hitting. So if you want to speed rush this, just roll 90-20. And then I'll manually do the math to decide whether or not, well, not decide whether or not, to point whether or not how many of them you hit or how many of them miss. Well, there's only 3 I'm worried about. Only 3.
Yeah.
Which, if I do that, hit, despite that being a 17, we have to remember you add a plus 15, so that's hit. So 2 hits, 3 hits. That's a miss. Hit. That this goes to defender. That technically is a miss. Wow, that's a miss. And despite those numbers, those are still 2 hits. So 1, 2, yeah, 3 managed to not get hit. One of the well, because that's a 10, you need a 10 or higher. So 2 of yours are crits. Which boom, 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 boom. Oh, and them. So against your 2 that are crits, there's that. And because one of the ones that were a crit also had a -5 because it failed that, that turns into a 4. Yeah, those 2 are down. Which also means, because that's 1, 2, 3. The other 4 that hit, because your damage is still a 20, but it becomes 15 for the last 2 because they were nat 1s. That's still. Oh, one of them actually passed because, again, that nat 1 turned the damage into a 15, which means that 16 passed. But you still managed to, out of the 6 you managed to hit, take down 5 of them. Zombies' turn. Now, because of the congestion of the hallway, not that many zombies are going to be able to swing at the party. So at this time, we'll start with Vigil. You need to roll 2 parries.
Okay, and what are those?
Plus 14s.
Like, no, is it? I'm assuming a D20.
Yeah, both of them are D20s. You have a 14 to both.
19 for the first one. That's 5.
Oh, I didn't put the 1. So dodged. Time for your second one. Oh, that's a nat 20. Which turns
Fucking bullshit.
You
That
rolled 1.
I rolled a fucking 1.
Oh, that's bad. That I am happy you have a healing factor, because that means, because that's a 1, you not only got hit, but you don't get your full toughness, because that 1 turns that into a 1 implies a -5 penalty to it, which means you need to roll d20 with only a +1. So there's a chance you actually get hurt in this.
An 11.
So 11, you failed by 2 degrees, which means you take 1 damage and you are
Okay, well, I mean, that's all I can do anyways on my turn.
Let's go Techno. Don't roll because your force shield is taking all that damage.
You have to just ignore this again, like the ants.
You have to remember, impervious. If the damage of the attack is equal to or less than half of your impervious, you don't care because it can't hurt you. Meaning, the damage that these zombies do is not equal to or greater than 5. So you do not care. They're just smacking you and hitting you. You go from a stressful to, oh, this is going to be easy, as you're just letting them hit you.
I'll walk down the hall casually firing my rifle.
All strike. You have the same problem of, unless a stronger zombie appears, I'm just going to sit here and not care.
Okay.
Now, Shiro, because he has not actually gone spider yet, has to actually worry about taking damage at this moment. But luckily, he has a 14 to dodge. So if you would please, sir, roll your first dodge this turn. Impervious is such cheating.
What was that?
You need to roll a d20 with a plus 14. Well, I mean, technically, you need to roll 2 of them, but it's one at a time. Okay, let's see if this hits you. It does not hit you. Roll again with the same bonus. This one might actually hit you because that turned into a 10. You were hit. And because that was a nat 1, you're only rolling with a +1 versus its damage. Oh, you lucky SOB. 0 difference, which means no damage taken. This damage only starts to occur when there's at least 1 point or more. Now we go to the top of Vigilance, where we can hope that your dice doesn't condemn you.
Okay, top of the round.
Yup, with you.
Okay.
So let's see if you hit. You are power attacking, correct?
Yes, so that's a 2.
Which becomes a 17.
17.
Parry is a 1. God.
Dice Spot hates me.
Managed to miss because the dice spot doesn't want you to hit. Does a 19 beats that?
Can I move back, like
you mean
full movement
between the rest of the party, so that way you're surrounded by the people who don't care about taking damage?
Yeah, pretty much, and yes, just yes, like go behind people.
Yeah, yes, you can, because there's nothing stopping you, because this isn't 3.5 D&D where you can't move through threatening squares that are being threatened. You can move.
Cool. I'm gonna do that. Unless
they're stopping you from doing it, as in the rest of the party, you can move to a position to that way the people who don't care about taking damage are between you and the threat. Therefore, you don't have to worry about being smacked for the rest of the combat, unless for something drastically changes, like they switch positions.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the back and be like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Fucking zombies. Just damn it. And just move to the back of the pack. Just be like, sorry guys. Fucking I'm on top of my game. Still a little cold.
Okay, now it comes time to Techno, who, without fear of actual repercussions, you can blast one.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
This is going to be a long but easy fight.
I think the zombie failed by a lot. Can I get a 2-for-1 on a nat 1?
You mean if I roll another nat 1, does it stack?
No, like I'm saying, since that one rolled the nat 1, can we say that the shot pierced it and hit the one behind it?
No.
Oh. Come on.
No. Yeah, you managed to take down that one, which means I can put that number to that. Hey, you guys have pretty much already defeated 1/8 of the amount of zombies that are in here.
Christ, we're gonna be at this forever.
Oh, that's a lot of zombies.
Yes, I'll give you a guess on how many people are surviving in this building.
None.
0.
Technically, there's 4 of you.
Not
Sorry.
counting us. Not counting us. 0.
Okay, all strike. Do you, knowing that these things aren't super tough, do you decide to switch to, being accurate with your hit to hit, so that way you actually have a chance of hitting?
With the accuracy you said? Yeah.
Because it goes from an 8 to a 13.
Yeah.
And
Well, that paid off.
it has to get really high to survive this. It did not. There's another one I have to take off take off. So yeah, you guys are working through them. Shuro, you are last. Like I said, because the math of your you get to roll me 8d20. I'll let you roll first. Okay. You have no nat 1, so there's a still chance of boom. Let's see. Even though they do, yeah, they have 0 against range. Hit. One managed to did miss because that's a 17 versus a whopping 25, because that 20 turns into a 25. That one definitely hit. And the rest all hit. So out of those 8, only 1 missed, which means 7 hit. And number 3 doesn't have the +3, it has a -2. And they all failed. Which means those 7 get removed off of this number here. And see, with Shuro, you guys will cut the numbers down a lot. Because there's 7 more that just got obliterated. Now it's their turn. Vigil does not have to roll the hit. Oh, before I end your turn, Shuro, is there anything you're going to activate?
Spider form.
The more I take time to put some
Okay, as you
exercise
guys
in
see,
now.
he takes more of a spider's appearance. Which you guys are all gonna laugh. Because even though he has the weakest impervious out of all of you, I'm not rolling for the zombies because their damage isn't high enough to make you guys care. Because the spider carapace he has give him enough protection to go, wow, these things can't hurt me. The shields of Techno are going, wow, it can't hurt me. The armor of Allstrike is going, it can't hurt me. Meaning no die rolls to hit or dodge or damage this turn, because the bad guys cannot hurt you. Which means we can start with the all-impressive dun 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 hey 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 Vigil.
I was about to say, I don't know who this Virgil guy you're speaking of. Is he an NPC?
He must be that little angel on your shoulder telling you to pelvic thrust. So Vigil.
Sorry, I don't know that. I don't know that move.
And like I said, before rolling, like I said, you can either focus on one to try to get extra damage on just one, or because of your overall bonuses to hit, you can technically swing at 7 different ones before penalties start accumulating on you. So you can have a chance of hitting 7 of these zombies.
I will do that, but I'll use the dice bot for that because I'm not rolling a d20 7 times.
Yeah, and because this is parry, they do get a +1, but you're also swinging with +15, which means there's going to be a difference of 14 between what you get and what I get.
All right, so I'm just going to roll a 7d20.
Yep. Just how many.
And then that's plus whatever to each individual one of those.
Well, you technically, there's a difference of 14 in your favor. So as long as whatever they got falls within will be a tie goes to defender. So it's if it's a difference of 13 or greater, well 13 or greater. Yeah, it's a difference of 13 does 14 difference, which means hit, definitely hit, all 7 hits.
Hey, let's go.
With number 5 having a -5 to its roll. Well,
You would roll a natural 20 on one of them.
Go down. Number 5 definitely still goes down because, well, that 16 doesn't get that +3. Because it turns into a -2, so that's boom. Number 3 got a total of a 22, which you have a DC. I'm assuming you're doing your multi. Well, no, you couldn't attack that many if you're doing power attack with it. Is that we didn't technically?
Yeah, I'm doing multi attack, so it's a DC 15, I think it is.
It's a DC of 20.
Because that goes up. Yeah, DC 20.
So out of the 7 you hit, 5 of them drop.
Cool. I do some cool, dope ass like kung fu chain weapon maneuvers and just look cool doing.
Rapidly caught up and just did your and hitting and taking down multiple of them. Techno, please roll your blast so you can blast them.
Okay, boss.
I'm also going to before Techno does that. I'm gonna move again back behind everybody.
Well, remember you have reach, so you don't have to break cover.
Well, yeah, I also don't want to risk the chance of whipping somebody in the back of the head with a steel chain. So I will move forward, do my attacks, then move back.
Allstrike, please roll with your mighty plus 13. As I said, this may be an easy fight, but it's going to be a long fight. Almost pressed the wrong buttons. That is another one down. And another one down, and another one down, and another one bites dust. Shiro, you're going to shoot at your 8. If so, please roll. Oh, I'm only really concerned about that one there. That one, because that's 1, 2, 3, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 dodged. But the rest, let me double check. Okay, hit, definitely hit. A 17 beats that. Hit, missed, hit. With only 3 of the 7 being crits. That one being boom crits. That means they all... Ooh. And that one was not a crit. And it was a DC 20. DC 20 not hit. Which means only 6 of them dropped. Wow, you guys have managed to cut down 3/8 of the population of zombies trying to eat you. And on the zombies' turn, because of, well, you guys are pretty much being a very, very great wall of China, in this case, wall of heroes, because the ability to not care is strong with this group. Going to the all-impressive Vigil, who can make all 7 of those attacks.
Yup. I'm going to do that. Push R. 70, 20.
Trying to speed run the zombie swarm.
18, 3, 14, 7, 16, 4.
14-point difference. That hits. They have +3, so failed. Only 2 passed, so 5 went down.
And then I move back behind everybody else. I move forward, do my flurry of kung fu chain whip shit, and then move back behind everybody else.
Techno, please roll to blast one in the face.
Captain.
And another one gets blasted. Another one gets blasted. Hey, a 1, 2, 3. All impressive Allstrike, please roll your to hit. Because it's clobbering time. That's not wanting to erase. Let's see if it dodged. It did not dodge. Let's see how bad it is. Does I know what I need? Ooh. Shiro, please roll your 8 die 20. Dice Ball wants to speed this up. And hey, look, 8 failures. Zombie population is officially under 50%. How does that make you heroes feel? Okay, Vigil, if you wish to roll your 7 of 7s. Oh, and to let you know, by this point you are fully healed from your, that smash you took earlier.
Motherfucker, I would roll another nat 1.
Well, you're rolling a lot of dice, so periodically you're going to get the worst outcome. Hit. Here's the funny thing. With that nat 1, you still hit. Hit. It just means that number 4, instead of having to beat a 20, it needs to beat a 15. So, it did not beat a 15.
Sweet.
And 6 went down because that 17 gets turned to a 20, which means there's no difference in damage. So that one does not drop, but it means 6 still drop.
Cool, I moved behind everybody else.
Techno, please roll to blast. There's a eraser. About ready to say, I not even with a nat 20s am I beating that. And another one down, and another one down, and another one da-da-da. I'll strike. You blastinate?
Yep.
I'm not even rolling to see if it dodges that, because it has a +0 even with a nat 20 to 25, which means it can't possibly beat that. Shiro, please roll your 8d8 of 18ness. Oh, ho. Wait, no, you have to get 10 or higher, so, hit.
2 nat 20.
Hit. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 of them being crits, which means that's not a DC 20, it's a DC 25. So here's the 5 that were crits. Failed. Here's the other 3. Is again not a crit. And still failed, because they didn't get a 17 or higher. Meaning 8 fell this round. You guys are actually almost done. Does the zombies go and can't seem to get through your guys' impressive. Why did that do that? I did not want that to do that. You guys' impressiveness. Coming from deeper within inside the hospital, you guys can hear a weird bellow, implying that there is something more dangerous deeper within inside the hospital. implying that whatever actually caused the death of these people and then possibly caused them to become the Walking Dead is in fact on its way to you guys. And of course, I skipped the page. Because the book doesn't want me to go directly to it. Vigil.
Yeah, there.
Do you roll your 7 to hits?
I move in front of the impenetrable wall of my newly found friends and do some cool, dope ass kung fu shit. And then after I do some dope ass cool kung fu shit, I will move back behind them.
Okay, let's see. Hit. Because there's a 14-point difference. You still hit. Because with that 14-point difference, even though I get to add 5 to that, so technically, even if I do their normal melee parry, that's a 26 versus. Yeah, even with a nat 20, hit. That becomes a 16 versus a 1, so only 2 out of the 7 dodge. And number 3 gets additional +5 for that one there. So out of those, 4 drop.
Okay, I move back behind everybody.
Everyone's favorite individual of technology, please roll your to hit.
Okay.
Chances of dodging. Failed. And another one bites the dust. All strike. Please roll with your big old awesomeness, and because you're most likely going to hit. Yep. And another one down. Okay, Shuro, roll your 8s, please. Okay, let's see. Hit. A 15 versus a 0, 31. That even that being a critical on there. He still got hit. That one missed. Hit. That. So 7 managed to get hit. And it's somewhat funny because number 3, well, no, sorry, number 4 gets a additional +5 for nat 20, but the DC is a 25. Because they have a +3 to all of them. Well, let's do the math. Number 3, what? Listen for it. Okay. Number 3 normally would pass, but that's a crit, so it failed. The one that critically succeeded did not pass. Yeah, so you down 7 more. Leading to the funny start of the turn to say the remaining 6 zombies cannot hurt the party, which means Senor Whippo doesn't need to roll
Whip it
7
out.
dice, 7d20. You only need to roll 6. So 60-20, please.
Thank you.
Because there's literally 6 left, so you could end it this turn. Did you hear me, Vigil? Oh, heard me, Vigil?
Oh, sorry, I'm back. I went to the bathroom right quick.
Oh, I didn't hear you go to the
Yeah, sorry. So 7 more.
There's 6 left, so no. It's 6d20. So like I said, you could end this right here, right now. Only really worry about
Probably not.
one. But let's see. Hit.
Miss.
That miss, because that's a 20 hit. Tie goes to defender. Hit and hit. So only 2 missed. And only one of those ones still standing, which means there's 3 left standing, which means the rest of the party still has to do work. So, Almighty
I move
Techno,
behind others.
please blast away, Senor Blaster Hands. You hit. And another one bites the dust. All strike, please roll to shoot the second to last zombie. I'm not even gonna roll its dodge because it cannot dodge that. Okay, Shuro, please roll your single attack against the very last zombie. Okay, it actually has a small chance of dodging. It didn't. You didn't succeed on that. Boom. It dropped. You guys managed to defeat all the zombies. So there's the hallways the focal point you're at that has the hallways leading to it is filled with zombies. Not moving up and about zombies, but defeated zombies. At this moment, at the end of one of the hallways, busting into view is this relatively large individual that seems to be damaging parts of the building as he walks because he's taken up pretty much the entire hallway. And his head is somewhat pressing against the ceiling, damaging the ceiling as if he doesn't actually care there's a ceiling there. Which, if you've ever been to a hospital, you know that the ceilings in the hospital hallways are quite tall. This individual seems to have his right hand has some sort of club with spikes on it, and his left hand seems to just be clawed. He has a weird helmet on, straps staying him down, belt along his shoulders, covering up his upper section, and a helmet. Along with the fact that it does appear that he has several pipes sticking out of his back that are producing a black smoke. Does that description remind you of anything, Shiro?
What was that?
The description I just gave, does that remind you of anything from season 1?
Season 1 on what?
Season 1 of the last season when you guys were fighting certain large, powerful enemies.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. You there?
Because combat technically has to go a certain period of time before initiative resets, that time has not come. So we can keep the same order of initiative, with you guys pretty much going before this bad guy. This bad guy looks extremely tough, and this is where rolling good comes into actually play. Because you guys have fought, you guys are now fighting an actual villain, not one you guys recognize. So we can start off with Virgil. And what does Virgil want to do?
I don't know. Who's this Virgil? Is this a new NPC is this guy that we're fighting?
My
Virgil
automatically goes to putting an R.
is this new entity that appeared named Virgil?
We're gonna call this new enemy right here
Just have
Virgil,
mouse in your
and
pocket.
you're Vigil. So it's Vigil versus Virgil. Vigil.
Cool. I'm gonna you know what? I'm probably gonna try a power attack on Virgil.
Did
you say a power attack on Virgil?
Oh,
yes. This new entity's name is Virgil.
Because this is Vigil.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
fighting Virgil.
Dude keeps wanting to call me Virgil.
The names look similar.
No, they don't. I don't have I don't have an R anywhere in my name.
You do now.
Come on, big money, no whammies.
Well, you guys said you got a 15.
Wait, that's a 9. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take a 24.
Ty goes to defender.
So, what's that mean?
Ties go to defenders, which means you miss. There's a 24.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So the dice bot doesn't want you to hit Virgil. He wants you to be your best friend.
No. I'm gonna move behind people.
Techno, do you
and end my turn.
At this guy?
Yes.
His ability to dodge range attacks is not as good as his ability to dodge melee attacks.
Definitely still good enough.
The dice bot still says get some. Okay. All strike. Are you going to do a normal attack or an accurate attack?
accurate attack.
plus 13. You hit. I gotta verify something because it's normally that, but because you're doing that, it jumps down to 7. I need to double check this number here. Payback is a dish best served cold. Your blast, your accurate blast, does hit, but it seems to have no effect.
Okay.
Shiro, with your impressive multi-attack and improved critical, do you blast this fearsome foe away with... I knew you were going to do it because I was going to do something separate to that. Because you're getting some PTSD from last time the party was forced to fight one of these things. Does he do have a 15?
I'm so glad.
What am I rolling?
A
15,
D20 with a
okay.
plus 15. Give me my number, by spot. Okay. Okay, because of the difference between what you got and it got, you're getting plus 5 from the multi-attack, which is permitting you to actually damage it. And because you got the 18, it does count as a critical hit, meaning it's a DC 30. So you do damage it. But this is one of the reasons why I said that he's getting some PTSD flashback from fighting last time we fought this thing. Just remember, it's not very hard to hit, because it doesn't necessarily care about damage, except for the fact that it just took 1. Its turn. What this big old thing does is does move forward, not caring about the surroundings. Does it seems to be just capable of smashing through everything. I probably should have read that, because that narrows down that, and that. And what it will do is it's going to smack at the closest person, which I did not determine who was the closest person. So out of the 3 people that are providing cover, it's going to go after 1 being Shiro, no, 1 being all strike, 2 being Shiro, 3 being Techno. It's going after Techno. Luckily, Techno has a plus 8 to his ability to dodge attacks, so you have a chance of not getting hit. You dodged its attack as this hand disc goes pretty much just swinging by you. Now we go back to the top with everyone's favorite Vigil.
Okay, I am going to try for a I'm gonna try and And crippling strike won't work on this guy.
If it's the source of the zombies, there's a chance it won't work.
Okay. I'm gonna do a power attack. Ooh! 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 Hoo, 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 hoo. 18 plus 15
Okay.
for a 28.
Parry is a 9. As your chains clobber into it, you're like, yes, I hit. But to no effect.
What the fuck? I back up and be like, I can't really fucking do anything to this guy. I got nothing. It seemed to not do anything to him.
Forward, I'm going to ask a question of the group. If you have any knowledge about DC, feel free to actually answer this. Never mind, I think I just answered my question by myself.
What was that?
I was gonna ask you guys a question, but then my brain decided to wait. That actually does work. It does self-answer itself. But I am. So I'm not gonna answer this here because this will change the certain parts of this fight. Sometimes I love coming up with questions that I need to have answered before it becomes actually relevant. Not the same thing.
Oh, fuck me.
I rather not.
Sorry, Tor would be more than happy to.
I have a comment, but I will not make it. I'll just say inside joke.
Okay, because we go in order of succession. Techno.
Christ.
Please roll to hit. Because you guys. See me. Aren't fully aware of this stuff, and Shiro is having a lapse of memory at the moment.
What's going on?
You're having a slight lapse of judgment about
He
whether
net
you
what?
actually work against this creature. At this moment, because you can obviously trigger this at this is obviously being triggered for you, Techno. Can you roll me a d20 with a plus 10?
Sure. Oh, shit. Got something in there.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Christ.
God, your brain is stumped at the moment. Oh my god. That's what the dice bot does to you when you mess up like that. well, maybe you might be able to actually get this. As your the blast from your blaster hits it. Wait, I want. I this might actually further this because I might have to do a change of. Never mind. It's a blaster. It falls under that. As the blaster round hits it, there's like you got a pretty good hit, but then you notice that the blast doesn't do anything.
Well, that's not fucking good. This is
No, no.
this is not your typical. Wait. So I did. I'm not gonna lie. I missed most of the enemy description because my Discord glitched out. So can I get a better description of? Can I get another description of this enemy?
It's on its waist. It has a belt with cloth going, like straps of cloth going down, so it's act as its clothing. Around its shoulders, because it gets pecs and its belly stuff, besides being toned and technically a bronzes color, is bare, but it has pretty much belt strapped around its shoulders. It's wearing a helmet, and it does look like it has pipes sticking out its back with black smoke coming out of it. Its right hand kind of looks like a bald club with spikes on it, while its right hand kind of looks like it has metallic claws. And it's big enough that its head is going through the ceiling. Not like completely through the ceiling, like here's its head, here's the ceiling, but it's like here's the ceiling, here's its head. And it's moving through all these obstacles like it's unhindered by the obstacles.
Is this a smog month? Is this a smog styled enemy?
Nope. The black smoke being produced from it actually is only there for visual effects. It's not doing any sort of harmful or hindering effect to anyone.
But just polluting the air.
Just polluting the air. But I can tell you this: your blast that hit did absolutely nothing to it, and it doesn't have any blast marks from the focus beam that All Strike has, nor is it showing any marks from the chain that just hit it.
Did any of this happen to like phase through it, or did it
No,
actually hit it?
Made full solid contact. But the creature seems absolutely unfazed. So when I say Shuro is having a lapse of memory at the moment, he's having a lapse of memory because he knows how tough this creature is because he's fought one before.
Did you make Nemesis?
No, I didn't.
He did.
This isn't my creation.
Technically, you did. This is your campaign, sir.
No,
Out of game, out of character.
I just have specifically chosen creatures that aren't easy to beat, but are extremely few of number. This happens to be one of them because the party did in fact miss one in the last season. It was just really, really hard to find because it technically was doing some midlife swimming at the moment when for a lot of it, and the party just happened to never be where it's at. But now the party is. Uh, and when I say the party has defeated them, Shuro was present when two others have been defeated. It's just not everyone was actually present for this because a lot of you weren't present in season one. So I can't really well blame you because with the exception of Ren and Shuro, three of you here are season two entries. But it's All Strike's turn. What exactly
How
do you
far
want to
away
do?
is it? Like,
Well, pretty much between you and it is Techno. Does it did move up to swing at Techno? It actually used
If
Okay.
I may,
God.
Um, I'm gonna.
You can either move by it and swing or focus beam it.
Um, I'm gonna move by it and swing.
Uh, are you accurate attacking or normal attacking?
Um, normal attacking.
You have a +8. Tie goes to defender.
Probably. Yep. That's what I figured.
Yeah. It's better at melee dodge than it is range dodge.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I figured if I hit, maybe I might do some more damage.
yeah. Shuro. You have several things you could do. First thing first is to riddle it with more bullets, and or roll me a d20 so I can somewhat force some memory into you. Oh, I want to double check something. Do you have it?
Would Would Captain Stewart know what this thing is?
Uh, would I have run into anything like this in Star City?
Surprisingly, no. Star City, even though it does have bad guys, all of its bad guys are nowhere near the scale of bull crap that this thing is. The Star City
Okay,
has two
so
main heroes, Green Arrow and Nightwing.
yeah, and I would say Star City doesn't have near the, I think what everybody would call them metahumans or meta
Well,
beings.
they're either it's a lower population of metahumans because it still has them. It's just not. They're like because you have to remember, the villains are usually geared towards the capacity of the hero in a lot of comic books. So even though they do have tough enemies that do tough things, none of them are quite on scale to the people you get to closer certain cities. Like, for instance, Metropolis has like Doomsday and Apocalypse and stuff. Pretty much Superman style here villains, while Gotham, even though Bruce Wayne is pretty much just a rich guy in a costume, he still has to fight very powerful, potent enemies like Killer Croc, the Solomon Grundy. Sometimes he has to interact with the Thing because That swamp monster actually is not that far. It has actually commonly done things there. So there is a bundle of very powerful entities he has to deal with. The, with exception of Shuro, the party has never had to deal with a villain on this capacity. All your villains have either instantly dropped from being hit, like the zombies, or just not that tough because you guys just haven't had a chance to actually fight anything remotely like this.
Okay.
But with that
Just
five, the only thing that's ringing a bell is the last time the party had to fight one of these, a certain hero felt pretty useless because her blaster couldn't harm it. Do you share that information, Shiro?
I do.
Uh, because he's still in the hospital, can't really necessarily shout and go detail. He does point out blasters don't work on it. Which at this particular moment, I can let one or both of the tech-based heroes, which will be Techno and Allstrike, do an intellect check to somewhat get a better grasp of what he means. Allstrike has a
Okay,
plus.
so what I roll?
You have a +5. Techno has a +10.
I rolled a 9 total.
Is this a tech check?
It's an intellect check.
I have
Not
a.
a tech check, an intellect.
Oh,
Uh, okay, I can give you that fine colors. All strike, you're pretty much, from what he means, like, wait, my focus beam is technically a type of laser weapon like blasters, and if blasters don't work on it, that's why my laser didn't work on it. Techno, you can go. He must be talking about the other tech-based hero that used to be with the group, who used the same type of blaster crap I did when I do, which means that's why my blaster doesn't do anything. And then it hits you. When the chain hit, you don't believe bludgeoning things won't work either. The only thing that seems to be working is the piercing damage of Shuro's bullets. But it's
I.
signifying that you guys have found an enemy more than capable of being a huge. I just hurt my shoulder. A huge problem to the entire party because at the moment, only one person is capable of actually affecting the monster. Because the blasters aren't working, which means the focus beam isn't working, and that chain isn't gonna do crap. So when I get to you guys' turns, you can decide to do something either really foolish or really smart. Because you guys are actually being pretty intelligent, not trying to constantly get yourselves, into the pulp. Which does bring it to Shuro. If you're able to share that information with them, you can either A, continue fighting this thing knowing that you actually have the damage type needed to damage it, or you can activate your jump jet when you're a jetpack, fly by Vigil, and get him and yourself out of there, hoping that the other two are also able to make it out of there. So the choice of fight the tough monster.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna fight the tough monster, but I tell them to get
Pretty much to fly.
Virgil out.
So
Yeah.
that way on their turn they can
Well, I
actually
tell them.
run
Yeah.
because the only enemy you guys have actually
Woo!
Okay, because that's a nat 20, it turns that into a 40, which means there's a 19-point difference. You get +5 for the multi attack and +5 for it being a crit, which means it's a DC 30. It still has a penalty to. I mean, it still has that -1 from last turn, so it's not rolling with a +18 anymore. Oh, you lucky SOB. That becomes
Dracula, this thing.
God. Because that nat 1 turns that 18 into a 13. A DC 30 minus 13 is 17, which means that's 4 degrees of failure. The party doesn't have to run.
He just Dracula another major enemy.
Yes, he did. You're like, guys, run! Da 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 da. Boom. Okay, or not. This You're pretty sure it's not dead, but it is defeated, which means you guys have plenty enough time to secure it.
Take it over to Bantam.
I will use the my chain to secure it as tightly as possible, locking its arms in place. Can I attempt to remove the bellowing, like the pipes that are blowing out
No,
the
it's
smoke, or
literally
can I
built into
kink
it.
them? Yeah,
This
okay.
is a
Is there any way to? Okay, is there any way we can clog those up?
Technically, yes, but it's not actually going to make a difference.
Okay. So that's just like an aesthetic thing. They don't really do anything.
Yeah, clogging them doesn't harm it. Removing them doesn't harm it. It's literally cosmetic.
Okay. Okay.
The only real thing that they
I will.
do is now that it's not actually conscious, they're no longer producing smoke.
Okay. I will. I will secure it with my chain whip, so that removes me having no weapon. So I am useless now. But big monsters secured for us to do whatever, contain it in something.
Yeah, I can, before it wakes up, I can give you guys at least 3 minutes to either
You know what?
secure it and attempt to take it
I
somewhere.
would like.
Go ahead.
Does you said it had a spike club?
Yeah, it's right fist where its fist should be. It's pretty much a club with spikes built in. Well, think more like a
Yeah, it's basically his hand and arm.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Think of it more of a morning star.
Okay, so if I grab that morning star and use it to bash in its head, would that be an effect? Because it would now be a piercing weapon.
As much as I want to give it to you, no, because it's built into its arm.
Okay.
And because what you have to do, you can't really get the fomentum or actual real force to actually make it effective on it. So getting it to hit itself
Yep.
won't actually work.
Swing by the
Okay.
drugstore.
But I said he can wrap change around it. Do you guys plan on A, leaving it here, or B, taking it somewhere and hopefully being able to better secure it there?
I mean, we
Well,
can't leave this thing here. This is the hospital.
Yeah, but how long is it, if we only got 3 minutes to get it up and out of here? Where are we going to take it to secure it?
I don't know, but as of right now, I have it as secured as I can with my chain, and that's a steel chain. Chains are kind of hard to break as is, just through brute strength. Don't know how strong this thing is, but if we're gonna do something, we need to like do it now. Or Shiro can like come over here and do point blank into its brain and like mag dump the thing into his dome piece.
Heard rumors they're real deep in debt. Sad, but it's a great little place, and the bartender's a good guy
Do
too.
you move up, Suro, and unload into its face? Okay, because it's incapacitated, it can't do anything. I actually want to double check something.
Did I complete Wild Jackson?
Because I want to see if there's any particular modifiers that will technically give you for shooting an incapacitated person.
Long time no see, Barkeep.
Because it is incapacitated, so it technically can't defend itself.
When did you get back into town? Please have a seat.
Night. Go all the way to night. Incapacitated.
Brings you back, doesn't it? Yeah. What'll it be then? Actually, I need a favor.
Defenseless. Where's defenseless. A defenseless character has an active defense. Bonus of 0. Attackers can make attacks on the defensive plus routine checks.
So you went to the Amano building looking for Diago Dojo.
Rules.
Yeah.
It gets a plus 0
Where? I don't.
to see if you actually hit or not.
Kazuki was just a bait to lure us in.
If you hit, it's considered a critical hit, so no matter what, boom.
Now, what's the link between us, though?
Passive characters are unaware, yes, stunned. Of course, they can't do anything while incapacitated.
I'd guess foreigners who kidnapped Diago and Chairman Godo are behind this. Foreigners. An Osakan detective named Besho tipped us off. Besho, you know? Used to be in Kamarocho's Division 4.
It gets its modifiers. First,
Wait, Kamarocho?
So it.
He was their golden boy when I joined.
Plus 16 to see.
Came in at the same time as Kawara. Show the Viper and Kawara the
difference of 9. That's a DC 27. It.
Yakuza tells a weird story and one I fully believe.
Shoot it again. Yes or no?
We're all rivals.
It's not dead yet. You're just prolonging how long it's going to take before it wakes up. Sure, if you're shooting again, just roll D20 to blast it some more.
Some kind of group, you know? But yeah.
Okay, that's not only critical, but it gets 5, so it's a DC 30. It now only gets a 15.
Sorry. That's what you said about Cora back there. About his kills.
It just took another point of damage.
Yeah. Don't hold a grudge against the guy.
At this point, you guys can realize that as long as he's
After
either
I
every
started,
turn or every other turn shooting it, you guys can technically safely get it to anywhere because it's not going to recover anytime soon as long as you
yeah, I got
actually keep shooting it.
Hey, out of curiosity, how is this
illegal aliens trying to track down emergency
how is this
stuff.
thing being affected by the weather right now?
Poirot was just a rank and
You
file
do
cop.
not know.
But he was
You guys would have to drag this heavy SOB out.
fast as
Was
I
it cold, very cold in the room that we encountered it in?
In the hallway, because
alone.
the power's still on, providing heat throughout the building. It is quite comfortable inside where you're at in the hospital.
The immediate experience resisted, so Carl Kawara-san pulled
Your
his
best
gun.
bet would be to drag it outside into the snow.
Sure, they were putting up a fight.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we can use because I can secure it partially with the chain, and we can use the chain as a form of pulling it out.
Just need to know if it's affected by cold, because if it is, we're sticking it in the cryo freezer.
Dead, every one of them. Kawara-san killed them.
Uh,
I was livid. I asked him.
I'm not the strongest one, but I will attempt to start heaving this thing down the hall the way we came.
They left me no choice.
Yeah, no. If it has the I'm like a normal corpse, and I'm gonna turn to a popsicle when I get cold. We're stuffing it in the cryo freezer, then we can forget about it. Like the slime that I may or may not have inadvertently unleashed at the behest of Shiro.
Self-defense. But people still started calling him Killer Kawara, and he eventually got bumped from Division 1. That's quite a history. The image of those men is still burned into my brain. Sounds like Kawara's got some deep scars. I got the same feeling, but I'd never go into it.
You guys can drag it out.
But
as you guys get it out, does Shiro
like
shoot it again?
As for me,
Just to make sure
Kiryu,
it stays under.
I feel worse that I couldn't stop Kawara than I do about shooting because
you managed to somehow miss that shot as it's being drug away. Roll again to see if you can shoot it.
Now, could I put force fitting it to its temple? Would that do anything to it?
No, it's not affected by lasers.
It's not affected by your force beam.
Okay. All right.
Okay, it has to.
No figure the pressure on.
30 with a 14.
I wonder what happened to Sayama. She made it out all right. Yeah,
16,
better go look for
which
it.
means it failed by 14, so it still takes another point down. So it's going to be out for a while, definitely. You guys, by this time, you guys can get it out, and you can drag it into the snow, and it's sitting there. And there is no obvious immediate effects of being in the snow.
That's just terrifying.
It doesn't seem to it's not necessarily like melting the snow and because it's not super hot. Well, I mean, technically because of its high end, how hot it is technically somewhat melting snow, but it's not like immediately like there's a puddle of water now. It's just resting in snow. But doesn't appear to have
Guys,
effects.
Would you guys allow me to experiment on this a little bit? Not hearing a no. Jacobs.
As long as it can stay
at-
contained and not, get out to the public and wreak havoc like it did in this hospital. I mean, the more information we can gain from coming across more creatures like this and understanding its weaknesses is a benefit to all of us. But we also probably need to do, either get somebody in here to. We either need to get somebody in here to clean up all these dead bodies, either ourselves or get somebody to come in and do it, because it can't stay like this.
Ed.
Well, I don't have a problem with you experimenting on it.
Cool. I want to run to the local hardware store since we are at St. Luke's, and I want to go grab some I don't know, tennis balls, metal caps, some duct tape, stuff like that. And then when I come back, I want to do this very unique thing. I want to take the metal caps, securely fit them on top of its exhaust pipes, and tape them down.
The exhaust pipes are out of character and out of game. The exhaust pipes and everything and the smoke is just purely aesthetic, cosmetic. They don't attribute to how the creature functions. Jacob stated that a couple of times.
The only real thing you can get from it is if it's conscious, it's spewing smoke. If it's unconscious, it's not. So by capping them, unless there's a leak, you can't tell if it's pretending to be asleep or not.
I wanted to cap them and see if I can make it explode.
Or you could go down to the hardware store, get a nail gun, and use the big long nails and just keep hitting it, because it'd be a piercing type action.
We already know piercing works on it though. So
I'm going to assume piercing works on it, as as Shiro was shooting it, it seemed to be affecting it in some shape, way, or form, and it dropped. So I would assume something like that. But I'm gonna ask around, like, does anybody know where one might acquire a lever action shotgun, or a shotgun per se?
If there's any left in the gun stores or anything like that, maybe, or pawn shops, if there's anything left.
Big if. Very big if.
Is Shiro's ammo, is he firing armor piercing or just plain standard
the gun
ammo?
he uses silver bullets.
Oh,
technically it is an undead.
Is it done?
Yes. Is there possibly anything else you guys could possibly think of that could possibly help restrain it, that technically has a high tension threshold, that could possibly be at the hardware store?
Could possibly use more chains or cable.
Building cable. Hoisting cable. Or tow chains.
Action like this.
Ratchet straps can fail if it's something that's quite strong. But we can throw a shit ton of ratchet straps on it, wrap some chains around it.
High tension building cable too.
Which you can find at the hardware
Well,
store.
silver can hurt it. Your silver can hurt it.
I
And,
need something.
is there anything at the hardware store or a silversmith store where we can
Nope.
get enough silver to try to do some damage to it?
Plate or
You
that.
do not have access to supply of silver. The only silver the party
Damage.
has
Okay.
is for 13K mechanics, and that's the ammunition that his gun uses.
Okay.
Does you guys have to remember he doesn't use a normal revolver anymore? Well, he still has his normal revolver, but he also has the other revolver now.
Right.
I would also
trying to
like
think
to
of-
acquire a secondary chain that is just as long as my original. If we're going to the hardware store.
Oh, the new Popo's up there.
What type of wire would there be that's really durable that we can wrap them in there like so if he tries to break it out, there's a good chance of him cutting into them.
I just got to the clinic. Where are you?
I mean, we can get tension cable like a winch or elevators or building cabling. Like a lot of that's high tensile. We can get the real thick stuff and wrap around it. I mean, that's going to take tons of tensile strength for one of those cables to break. And he'll like the creature, if it does attempt to break through, it'll most likely tear itself to pieces before the cable breaks. But we would have to have special fasteners to secure it with the cabling on that. Whereas if we just get chain, wrap it around it really, really tight, just throw some locks on it. The weak points of the locks, but I mean, shoot, you wrap 100 feet of chain around it. It's still takes a lot of tensile strength to break a chain that's wrapped around several times with several locks, affixing to the chain.
Well, if all else fails, we can go into the Christmas department and get silver tinsel and use that to wrap it in.
You know that silver tinsel doesn't have silver in it, right?
But if you go by elf, your Santa Claus the movie, it could cut through.
That's Will Ferrell logic. And,
tinsel has more uses than just
Vigil just
Santa
like
Claus.
face palms his hockey mask and shakes his head side to side. And he's going to proceed to find a spool of very thick chain that has a lot of chain on it, and grab that with as many locks as he can carry, and start using that chain to wrap the creature around as tight as he can, and wrap it up, and then we'll remove my doing.
If you are wrapping the creature very tightly, you are putting a lot of pressure on the chain to start with.
You want it to be snug, not tight.
Okay, well, snug. Just making sure it can't wiggle itself free.
Yeah.
And then we'll affix locks to the chain in multiple different random places just to make sure if one lock fails, there's other locks there.
Techno, because you guys are the ones that ran to the store. Both of you need to make perceptions. Techno with a 10, and Virgil with a
9. That's a 6 or a 9.
The dot's at the bottom, so that looks like a
Okay, so 19.
Okay. As you guys are basically it's got a bunch of different stuff to like secure it and whatnot, and you're like, okay, we're gonna go. As you guys go, by one of the aisles, someone staring at you guys. You guys can see about an ant that's about 5 feet in length. It's snow white. Does have little spikes on its main carapace, and it is somewhat like looking at you guys funny.
Go ahead and turn my shield on now.
But it's like I said, it's just looking at you guys funny.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put my shield on now.
I'm gonna just take a step back behind Techno and be like, my chain's still wrapped around dude at the hospital.
Anything like the last dance that were in the hardware store, we don't have to worry about it because they just kind of bounced off of me.
Yeah, well, I don't have a weapon. And
you don't need. Yeah, I don't need one. I'm just gonna keep walking.
You just keep walking.
Yeah.
Do you follow him? Or
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Virgil?
Oh, I am walking on the opposite side of him, where he's in between the ant and myself, just because I have nothing to defend myself with until I can properly acquire another chain.
Okay, as Vigil and Techno, you guys are walking out. You can see that the ant does somewhat follow you guys out. And you can see that a couple more start following you guys. They're not running, they're not charging. You can occasionally hear this weird clicking sound.
I'm gonna drop to my knee and put my hand out towards it.
Okay, Shuro. Shuro said he's BRB.
I forgot that Vigil hasn't seen our pet yet. Well, my pet yet.
I said because they're a little bit bigger than the last time you saw the ones that were in here. But it comes over to you. It's like antennas tapping. Somebody tilts its head and stuff. Doing this sideways look.
I'm gonna pet it on the head.
And it does somewhat pucker up some. And you can see that it somewhat wears its abdomen beneath it, like it's like in a combat stance. And where the stinger is, you can see there's this weird fluid that somewhat just oozes out a little bit. And you, because of your knowledge of particular things, I'm gonna actually click here. You need to roll me a d20 with a plus 20.
Yeah.
Okay, before I officially answer this, I'm going to ask you a very important question, and you can probably guess it. What type of liquid is, even in liquid state, is extremely cold and technically capable of freezing things?
Liquid nitrogen.
What do you think it's getting ready to spray on you?
It's some liquid nitrogen.
Do you remember what you were told about these ants when you did your gene testing?
They have the ability to evolve based on their environment.
So the honeypot ants that were here have gone over a rapid mutation, and they're capable of producing one of the most dangerous concoctions you can come across.
Liquid nitrogen.
Do you stand perfectly still, panic, flee, fly away. What?
Or talk to it.
I'm gonna dazzle, so we can get away from here pretty safely.
So you're gonna shoot it in the face with your dazzle in hopes that it fails that fortitude saving throw and gets blinded. Because if so, you need to roll with a +8 to hit. Okay, I need to read through that. It dodged.
Jesus fucking Christ! Yeah,
So
think.
you like, boom! It manages to dodge, and you are entitled to a dodge check. Because this is an AoE effect, you have a +8. Okay, that's pretty decent. You need to make a fortitude check with a +10. You lucky SOB.
Do I have to make that same roll?
It is an AoE cone effect, so technically, yes, you do. You have a 12.
Ooh, 25.
Fortitude of 8.
16.
You lucky 16 on the die or 16 total?
16 total.
Okay. You managed.
I rolled an 8.
You passed the dodge check. You lowered the DC, and you lowered it just enough that fortitude caused you to suffer no ill effects from it. So you guys are not currently suffering any ill effects from the spray.
Mm-hmm. Would you say by now that I have acquired a secondary chain?
If you want to,
or not yet? Huh?
If you want to unwrap it.
I mean, as soon as I would have picked up the chain, I would have unwrapped it like right then and there.
Well, because you went in there with the specific intent of actually getting
because my two intentions were to get something heavy duty that has high tensile strength to from breaking, and a similarly identical chain to the one that I had, maybe a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger, durability wise, and in the same length and stuff.
Yeah, so I can say you have a chain. But before you decide to do anything quite hostile, because he was trying to get you guys to escape, like I said, there was several ants.
There are what ants?
Several of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because what I want to do is I want to use the chain whip and use it Indiana Jones style and try and like wrap it around like an exposed rafter or something if it's like an exposed ceiling, and just like swing away rapidly.
This happened as you guys were leaving.
Okay, so we are exiting. Yeah, I'll just. Where are the other ants with the one that just attacked? Like behind it? Are they surrounding us? Like what's the setup?
Behind it, not necessarily adjacent to it, but slightly farther behind it.
Okay. I'm gonna book it.
You can book it. Techno, do you also book it? Since you can fly, and that does give you the ability to pick him up and fly, you can get away from the ants. Mainly because they also aren't doing long-term pursuits. And you guys can make it back to the party, where you guys can then use what you have to further secure the bad guy. And then do the arduous track of pretty much dragging this heavy-set individual wherever you want to store him.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Can I say I get my original chain back too?
Yeah.
If we're wrapping it up in that other chain?
Where do you guys drag him to?
Hardware store.
I mean, I think Techno had a really good idea about trying to put it in a cryo freeze, because if it's frozen, it can't do anything.
Yeah, but
Just
that,
take it to the hardware. Take it to the hardware store. Give it to the ants that have. If it's frozen, the chain doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it's frozen, if he doesn't move, yes, you're right.
It takes you guys a while to drag it there, and as you're approaching the warehouse, you can see that on top of the warehouse, the hardware store, you can see that there's a couple ants on the roof, and they make this weird noise and somewhat move back and forth. And then after a moment, multiple more ants come bolting out of the front of the hardware store. Do you guys just leave the unconscious bad guy there and bolt?
Now, do we have to physically drag this thing across the ground? Are they able to, like, because I don't know how many people can fly in a party.
He's too big and too heavy for the party to successfully fly with him. So the party had to drag him there.
Okay. So I was gonna say we could just like fucking airdrop the fucker down there, but that answered that question.
Take him in front of the hardware store and fly up. I'm going to stand there and float there, and watch and see if.
So everyone gets to safety, including picking up Vigil and making sure he's also not on the ground.
Yes, and then I'm going to hover there and watch to see what the ants do with the creature.
Just as a bunch of them like brum rush over, like looking for combat, a bunch of them are staring up at you guys, making weird noises, bolstering. Like if you got any closer, we're going to spew liquid no-go juice on you. But after a while, some of them start their antennas start bumping around the unconscious person. And around this time, you can see slight black smoke start to pop up. Because it's been a while since someone decided to shoot him, indicating that he may be stuck, but now he's starting to wake up, which does trigger the ants to start biting. And at first, it looks like there's no effect from the actual bites. Like the ants can't get their mandibles aren't strong enough to actually counteract this guy's imperviousness. But then after a while, they start spraying him with the fluid, and you notice that they also are taking ice. Well, not ice. They are taking pieces of ice from things and snow, and pretty much just covering him and spraying it to super freeze everything. So they are cocooning him in ice. And after about a minute, minute he's covering his ice, which you can still see through the ice that he is still trying to wiggle and move, but the ice is kind of making it hard for him to wiggle and move, and the chains and stuff he has have on him is also not helping that. And then after a while, they start dragging him into the hardware store.
Oh,
Looks like we don't have to worry about that problem anymore.
well, he'll be
Yes,
for
but
a
it
while
seems that we
anyway.
have a new problem in dealing with giant ants that can freeze things.
It's fine. We need to get back to the base. I need to go check on something.
Do you guys all go flying back to the base?
I know you got to go check.
I don't really have a choice. Whoever's carrying me, I'm just along for the ride.
Yes, you can easily make it back to the base. Do you go and immediately go into your quarters?
Yep, you know what I'm going to look at.
You can go in there, you look at your makeshift aquarium setup stuff, and you notice your ant's not in it.
Shit.
Do you
All right, time to go
water in it?
searching. Yep.
The vent to the room, even though it's a pretty decent vent, is removed.
Fuck.
Like something with powerful jaws clamped in and literally ripped it off.
I'm going to check on my motorcycle. As soon as we landed in.
Where Shiro's motorcycle is in storage, looking pretty nifty. You can see it's because it's parked in the same hangar stuff as the Hornet, which is also sitting there looking like a beautiful piece of art. Knowing that the vents have been compromised by your ants, Techno, what do you tell the rest of the group?
Radio into everybody. Hey guys, we got a problem. Honey has escaped and is somewhere in the ventilation system.
I don't hear this because I don't have a comm device.
No, but Techno and Shiro do. And
yes, and I don't know if they are with me.
Yeah. As you say that, you notice your
Or
doors
the
open,
builder.
and there's Captain Sewer staring at you, and he simply says, "You need to come with me."
Shit, all right.
He goes to, he takes you to an area that he's working on. He goes, this area that I'm working on is not complete by stasis, so it's technically not even 100% safe for us to be in it right now. But it's something I was working on for a a little sub-entrance thing for water access to, make it less obvious that this is where our base is for those who may or may not still not know where it's at. But do you know how your research said that the environment helps shape the ant?
Uh-huh.
What does it mean?
Did you know ants, as long as the temperature and salinity of the water can actually survive days underwater, as long as it's not too cold or too hot or there's not too many chemicals in it?
The aquatic ant.
He goes over to part where there's where he's working on a actual window to look out, and he goes, "See, as I was working on trying to make sure this stuff doesn't flood, because for some weird reason it started to flood, I look out and I saw something pretty much scurry across the outside of the window. So, can you take your light and shine it in that direction?"
I'm gonna shine my light in that direction.
As you shine, you can see like beautiful sea bottom, some coral, some seagrass and stuff. And then after a moment, you can see what looks like a ant head moving.
That's interesting as fuck.
As it somewhat pops up and looks at the window, you can see that it has a few more segments. It still looks like it has several.
Right.
That its limbs are still suitable for gripping and stuff, but you can see that it does have a propulsion. It can be used for propulsion to actually move around and swim. Its abdomen is more flatter instead of barrel shaped. You can see a long stinger coming out of it, as in it can't keep it fully stored in its long out. And its mandibles more look like the jaws of life.
Oh, it's Oh, honey,
Swims
is
to
that
the window.
is that you?
Latches. Someone grabs on, and it's just staring at you. And then after a moment, it opens its jaws and just grabs the window. So you can see it has, instead of pointed, it's more shovel placed for gripping. And you see it starts to get a grip as it's scraping along the exterior window, like it's trying to get a grip on the window. And then Captain Chewie goes, give it a moment, and we'll realize it can come through another way. As in, some of this dives down, and after a moment through the water, you see here's a splash. As this weird aquatic ant pretty much just drags itself along, more like it's dragging, because it looks like it's more built for being in water, not necessarily adapted to overly land, but still able to move relatively boom. And it's now, instead of being its tiny little self, it's around 3 feet in length, not counting the foot-long stinger.
You've changed a little bit there, buddy.
Yeah. It does seem happy to actually see you.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and give him head pats and pick him up.
He weighs a lot.
I'm a golem now. I'm just gonna pick him up.
Yeah. Boom. And Captain Chewie goes, yeah, he put a hole in the base.
Well, he's growing, and based on the research, he's going to evolve based on the environment he's in, and quite frankly, we're underwater, so this is the next stage in evolution apparently for him.
Yeah, but he went from being tiny to big, which means there's a good chance that he's going to get even bigger.
Yes, he's going to get much bigger. He's still an adolescent.
You might want to inform the rest of the party that you have a ant capable of damaging steel in our
Fairly effortlessly.
very pressurized base, which means at any particular moment it decides to not want to use a door, it will make a door, and the pressure difference will most likely definitely kill everyone that's not, well, it, because it's in a protective exoskeleton.
I will I will have a talk with my hand. So I'm gonna just have Honey wrap around me, and I'm gonna start heading towards the surface where I know Vigil is.
On your back. And you go to where the rest of the party is.
Yeah.
You can find the rest of the party because, well, several of them are making sure their equipment's okay because they love their bikes. So the first one you can run across is All Strike, who's just doing. Who's now you guys are back at their base. He's doing some obvious work on his suit to make sure that any minor damage that may or not have been done by those zombies is actually removed. And do you turn her? Well, what exactly do you tell him before you show him the ant on your back?
So, Ostrike, buddy, our resident Aunt Honey has made some changes.
Uh, Honey has. Where is Honey? I'm still looking off. I'm assuming he's still behind me. So I
Well,
slowly turn around.
you might want to be ready for a shock.
It's no longer tiny.
It's no longer.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
It looks like
I'm.
Oh,
It's just Honey's no longer 7 inches long. He's now 3 feet long.
yeah. Looks like he's growing out of your back.
Yeah, this is Honey now. He's some variant of aquatic ant.
Oh, how did that happen?
Well, based on all the research, they evolved based on their environment, and he's been trapped in an aquatic base for the last, oh, God knows how long. So he kind of just evolved that, water.
So is that stinger in between your legs? His or yours?
I'm just really happy to see you, that's all.
Okay. All right.
No, that is 100% his.
Oh,
Don't know
okay.
don't know the potency of it yet, but kind of afraid to find out. But I'm going to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get too close to him. I know that he's friendly towards you, but and I'm not going to make any threatening moves towards him, but you need to keep a good close eye on it. You might need to put a leash on that thing. I don't know. That way he can follow you around without getting into any trouble.
I mean, he's doing just fine sitting on my back. And he did save you and the rest of us.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that he's a bad ant. I'm just saying that he's getting bigger.
It's my
And
little
he may
buddy.
not know his new strength.
That's okay. I mean, well, quite frankly, he doesn't. He may or may not have ripped a hole in the base.
If he's like any of the other ants that we've come across, oh geez. Well, if you can train him the right way, then that can be a definite advantage to this group, for this group.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go and see the rest of the party now and see how they handle all this.
Okay.
So you take the elevator to the
Is
surface
there?
to where the rest of the party
Yeah.
is because they're at their bikes.
Yeah.
When you get up there, because again, it's still quite cold up there, make the doors open, the chains of air. The ant pretty much just slouches off your back and immediately starts scraping the floor, like it's trying to not get where it's cold.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. I'm going to pick him back up and go back in the elevator and go back down.
Because the water may be cold, but the surface is still cold enough to keep ice as ice.
So I'm just going to radio Shiro for him and Vigil to come down into the base.
Are are our computer systems working? Captain Stewart and Captain Sewage.
Captain Sewer.
Yeah, Captain Stewart. I'm sorry, I keep thinking sewage, but sorry.
No, he's named after the
I mean,
stuff
do we
he
have
lives
access?
in.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just wondering if there's any way we can do some research on uh, technology that deals with talking to insects.
Uh, no, we don't have anything set up for that yet. We have limited scientific capabilities. If it wasn't for the
Okay.
particular things he technically snagged from the hospital, we wouldn't know what we know about the ants because, well, he technically sold a few things to do that.
Right.
But after a moment, Shiro does pop down with Vigil. Are you by the elevator waiting for them, or are you gonna go in the actual like group common area?
Yeah, by the elevator.
Yeah, by elevator. Uh, well, when the elevator doors open, Vigil, because Shiro, I think, is not necessarily fully backed up because he had to say BRB, because he is in a hospital at the moment. Uh, you can see that Techno's waiting there, and he seems to be holding a freakish bug.
The fuck is that?
Oh, this is Honey. You haven't really been around much to meet Honey. Honey is used to be a honeypot ant that I had found as a baby, and I have been raising ever since.
That thing's not going to try,
Found
is it? Just a note. I still haven't taken off my mask.
It's not a note. Honey's a sweetheart.
Honey seems to be getting restless.
You want to get back in the water, buddy?
It's just it's just doing this real thing that it wants down.
All right, so I put it down.
It does this.
Oh, and I want to before it decides to skitter off anywhere, Honey. You need to use the doors to get out. You cannot be making your own.
It does this skitter crawl, and immediately just goes right up to a vent and rips off the panel
Honey, stop it.
and just crawls in.
I'm gonna radio Captain Sawyer. Captain Sawyer, we're gonna need to reinforce the ventilation system.
Unless you can materialize something stronger than steel, that's gonna be hard.
I'll start working on something. Honey seems to be really enjoying going through the ventilation system for whatever reason.
It's because the ventilation system, due to anti-flooding and emergency flooding protocols, has access to this entire facility.
Yes, but that doesn't explain where he keeps.
To stop certain size things from going through it, because well, I didn't think anything that small would actually be trying to do anything in my base, so it means I'm probably gonna have to make the entrances smaller or more integrated hatches or vents. But I'll just keep a lookout for any accidental breaches to see if it decides to actually use an actual entrance or makes another one.
Yeah, because Honey seems to be. Also, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to call a session for myself there. I have a very restless individual who is needing attention, apparently.
Well, I was actually about ready to call the session because because a few moments ago I looked at the calendar and we've exceeded our normal 2-hour allotment.
By a lot, yes.
Yes. So we will be ending the game session with you guys successfully, extremely easily defeating something that I didn't think you'd defeat that easily again. You discovered that the honeypot colony has rapidly mutated to more frost ants, and that your ant is now extremely aquatic. So we can end episode 10 with you guys technically stopping the blizzard, which will hopefully stabilize the region a lot more without completely undoing what you guys were hoping that it would do. And with you guys settling to the fact that some of you, due to that ritual that you and Constantine did, are now different, but in a good way. So for all those that
with
watch this, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And catch us next week for more Nightmares of Future Past.